Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. It is Friday, the 24th day of March 2023. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your family's safe and healthy. And I hope you have some good weekend plans and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health and safety are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are out here saving lives. And those also who do the dirty work of picking up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks and parks clean and disease free. Those also that do the humble work of delivering things for us like food and water and mail for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here doing the heroic work of helping rescue, recover teenagers and children that are the victims, unfortunate victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The people who are out here trying to rescue people who are victims of prostitution, victims of child prostitution, victims also of pornography. See, when you watch X-rated video, you have to realize those people are victims in human trafficking and child pornography and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators that do these things. Double curses on those that profit from these things, and double curses on those perverts that create this industry. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, mostly children, that are homeless, and that's just in the United States. There are millions of people and millions of children, millions around the world, in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them no matter where they are, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night. Now, this is the thing, brethren. I was there, and I was really fortunate to be there because of the view I had in the 100 section. I was right behind the scorer's table in section 100, and I got to see things much closer than I normally would. In fact, the last time I saw a game and I was this close to the floor, I was under the basket against the Milwaukee Bucks in Ray Allen's rookie year. That was 20 years, something years ago, as you can know. So I really was in a good spot to watch this game. And yes, the Knicks lost the game. Okay, they lose games. People lose games. And beside from the craziness I was hearing from the crowd, it was the second quarter. They were down 19. Throw it in. Put Derrick Rose in. And then fire Tibbs. Beside from that BS, I was able to actually analyze the game closer. And I came away with several things that I want to share with you now. Number one, Julius Randle is the bellwether in terms of the leader of the team. When he trips out, it's going to be hard for the Knicks to win. He tripped out last night. And the thing that he did that is troublesome is not just that he's arguing with the refs. That's not good. But for him to be pushing, yelling, jumping in the face of his own teammates, it was almost like he was ready to come to blows with Immanuel Quickley, who was trying to save him from himself. That's scary. Okay? Julius Randle's a wonderful talent. He really is. He has the talent to be obviously an all-star and all-NBA. Okay? Extremely talented. And behind me, just a few rows behind me, was his little boy and his wife. And I wondered what they were thinking when they watched him jump in the referee's face at halftime. And then when his teammates were doing their best to get him away from the ref, he was throwing them away, and he jumped in Immanuel's Quickley face and quickly stood his ground at midcourt in front of everybody. He acted like that. And I'm saying you cannot do that if you're the leader of a team. So I don't want to be one of those that say as long as the Knicks have Julius Randle, some people are going to come out like that. As long as they have Julius Randle, they're not going anywhere. I don't believe that. I believe that whatever his issue is, he can get help for it. The meditation he's doing, you see him doing on the sideline, obviously it may be adding to a positivity in terms of helping him, but he needs a lot more. And the fact that last summer he acknowledged that he had some issue. he needs to acknowledge this is an issue that could cost the Knicks. Now, he ended up with 23, 7 of 20 last night, 7 of 10 from the line. He plays with emotion. It's part of his makeup. That's part of his personality. Playing with emotion is great. There's been a lot of players, great players, like Dennis Rodman. There's been a lot of great players that play with a lot of emotion on the floor. But you don't have to start jumping in people's face like that. That's, in fact, invading personal space. And legally, if you touch somebody, that's assault. So he's on that border right now. And it's like a powder keg that's ready to explode when he does that. And there was nobody that could control him. I actually thought the ref did the T thing and he went like this. And you know what that means? I thought they were tossing him, But apparently, he came back. It was a T and he came back. And that particular referee, after that, wasn't giving Julius no calls. It was almost like he wanted him to blow up. So that's an issue. It's going to limit the Knicks this year. It can be dealt with. I'm not advocating, or should I say advising, that the Knicks trade Julius Randle, because I already know I don't believe in trying to bump my head against a wall against something I know ain't going to happen. The Knicks are not going to trade him, not in the next 2 or 3 seasons. He's not. They aren't in a contract. He's too talented. And because of his mercurial nature, they're not going to get really what his talent is worth. They're not going to get that back. So he's going to be there, which is going to cost us Obi Toppin. Okay? But that's another story. But that was pretty much the most negative thing I could say about last night. You got to give the Magic some credit. They hit some really difficult, when you see it live, they hit some really difficult shots, especially the dagger. I don't know who shot the dagger. I wasn't paying attention on who was shooting the ball. But Mitchell Robinson, who, by the way, he only scored 2 points. But he was tremendous, man. I'm going to tell you about him in a second. But he was just about to block that shot. The guy got it off just above Nick Rob's hand, extended arm. And it almost like it was one of them Garfield Hurd shots that was straight up in the air. So I was like, okay, this is going to be off. Through the hoop it went. And that's what they were doing a lot last night. I mean, Deuce was up in Cole Anthony's grill. Up in his grill. And he was hitting a couple shots. So it was like that. I'm not giving the excuse, but you got to give them the credit. They were hitting big shots down the stretch. I knew the Knicks were going to make a run. Very rarely this year have you not seen them make a run. No matter what the score is, they're going to make a run. And so they tied it at least once, and they came close. They got within 1 or 2 a couple of times. They were right there. Mitchell Robinson played 31 minutes last night. The rebounds he gets with 3 guys on him, it's ridiculous. The rebounds he's able to get with 3 dudes hanging on him, a lot, especially the offensive board. The thing I saw that I know the Knicks coaches are going to work with him on this summer, a few things. But when he gets a rebound, what he does is he brings the ball down below his waist. Now, if you're just basic basketball, you know you can't do that if you're a big man, right? You bring the ball down below your waist and they're going to steal it because the guys are shorter than you're going to take it. And you notice like a Jokic, the Joker never does that. He keeps the ball high. When he gets it, he keeps it high. Mitch is going to learn to do that. That's just work and working on stuff. Keep the ball above your shoulders. When he does that, because they stole it from him a couple of times because he brought it down below his waist. But as far as getting the ball with dudes hanging on him, that's why you might only see him like last night. He had 12 boards, but you don't know how many rebounds he opened up for everybody else just because of the tension that he draws. Okay. And some of y'all talking about, there was some people, Hartenstein's breathing down his back. Y'all need to, drugs are difficult out here today. They stronger. You need to calm down. Hartenstein is not Mitch Rob. It's ridiculous how good this guy is at getting to the basketball. And he had 3 blocks, big blocks too. Big block when they need him. When they started turning on the defense in the 4th quarter, that's when they really started turning it up. They turned it up in the 4th, but it was too late. Like I said, give Orlando credit. They were hitting big shot after big shot after big shot down the stretch. There was a playoff atmosphere. RJ Barrett. Okay, let's talk about RJ. I would like for people to, all right, this is what I'm getting. Guy walked up to me after the game. Raw, when RJ gonna break out? Let me explain this to y'all. Jimmy Butler is not a superstar. He is a star player. He is really good. But he's not a superstar. He's not the guy that can carry a team to the championship. Otherwise, he would have already done that. Antetokounmpo is a superstar because you just build around him and he can carry you all the way to the chip. And he's done it. And he's been MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Okay? That's a superstar. RJ is not going to be a superstar. So those of you waiting for that because he was the number 3 overall pick, you're setting yourselves up for disappointment and you're not being fair to him. Did he decide he was going to be the number 1 pick, number 3 pick? Did he say, I'm going to slot myself in at number 3? No, he didn't. So stop blaming him as if he's supposed to perform at some level because John Moran is performing at some level. He's RJ Barrett. He's not John Moran. Okay? Number 1. Number 2, his floor is a solid championship piece. Okay? That's what makes him valuable. At age 22, he still makes a lot of dumb mistakes, but he's growing. He's smart. He works hard. He has a very strong body. He can bully ball you. So his floor is a championship rotation piece. Okay? That's his floor. I want to talk about trading him because you can get guys that are above their floor right now and they are already in prime mode, championship contention ready right now. That is Jeremy Grant. That is Mikal Bridges. That is not RJ Barrett. So stop expecting him to be that. He's not there yet. When he gets there, it's like you're looking at fruit. You're looking at a tree. Maybe it's a mango tree. And you like the mangoes. And the mangoes are green. And you're just watching it. When is it going to ripen? It ripens when it ripens. When it's ready, it's ready. Until then, don't touch it. That's RJ. Let him ripen. At his pace. Not at yours. So last night, he was getting his behind handed to him. Okay? He was 3 of 12. He was 4 of 6 from the line. He had 3 rebounds. He ended up with 10 points. He was getting cooked. Daggone Franz Wagner. And that boy could play. I give it to him. Like I said yesterday, I didn't think he was going to be all that. But this kid is really good. Okay, he's also a championship piece. Okay, he's not a superstar yet, but I don't know about his upside because I didn't even think he was going to be this good coming out of Michigan. I thought he'd be all right, but I thought he was more like his brother. No, Franz can play. And he was cooking RJ last night. Matter of fact, RJ guarded him. They were joking with each other. You saw they was almost like having fun. Franz had 16 on 7 of 12 shooting. He was very efficient, but RJ was doing good ball denial on him. They wanted him to take more than 12 shots last night. But RJ was doing good ball denial. But when homie did get the route, RJ had some problems. But it's part of the growing pains that 22-year-old NBA players generally have to go through. Not everybody's going to come in and dominate like a Luka at age 20. Luka was dominating Europe when he was 15. Okay? LeBron was dominating when he was 16. Matter of fact, they were thinking at the time LeBron was 16, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And they were thinking about trying to change the rules and let him go into the NBA at age 16 because he was ready. Not everybody's like that. 99% of players, even great players, are not like that. Okay, so don't expect that from RJ. Don't stop comparing him to other players at his age. It doesn't work like that. Everybody grows at a different speed, at a different pace. Okay, so yeah, there's that. Then Quickley. I'm listening to guys behind me. Pass the ball. What's wrong with you? Pass the ball. It's like, it's difficult listening to people that don't understand basketball. Quickley played great yesterday. I mean, great. And not only that, he didn't shoot the ball as well as he can. Okay, it wasn't his best shooting night, but controlling the floor and then getting in Julius Randle between him and the ref. That's leadership. Even Brunson was there. He didn't do that. My man Quickley got between Julius and the ref, and then when Julius started jumping in Quickly's face, he stood his ground. That's leadership. That's leadership right there. Okay? Quick did that. He controlled the game. And what Quickley does that people don't understand is his game is different, like say from Jalen Brunson's game. Jalen Brunson uses his footwork to get in the lane and create shot opportunities closer to the basket, like within 10 feet of the basket, and get angles with his tremendous footwork to make that happen. Quickley's a prober. So what he does is he gets into the lane, sees what the defense is doing, may jump back out, and he's probing the defense to see what the opportunities are for him to shoot or for him to pass. That's his game. Okay. Yesterday he was doing that, and he was finding the next Knicks star, Quentin Grimes. I'm watching Quentin Grimes, and I just kept saying to myself, we got something, man. I told y'all. That's why it was smart that Don and Tibbs and them, they would not give him up for Donovan Mitchell. And Stephen A. Stupid was acting stupid and still is. But no, we keep this kid. The first time I had, we all played street ball when we was kids, right? I think I started playing street ball when I was 8 years old. And I didn't have a coach, like an official basketball coach, until I was 12. And I played in junior high school. But then the first real coach that would really change my life, and he passed away, rest in peace, Frank Taplin. But he was an effect on me as a person and a player, was age 15. And the first thing he taught me, which I just never heard of it before, and y'all gonna laugh, but it was catch and go base. That's what he would say. He would have me out there. The first time he met me, I was at a summer basketball camp with him. And he said, we're going to teach you catch and go baseline. And what it is you're catching the basketball, and at the same time, it's almost like you're exploding in a sprint. You're exploding out of a block with the ball. And he wanted you to do it to the baseline because his philosophy was if you could beat a guy to the baseline, you can get to the basket, right? And so catch and go base became, the first thing I learned. And it's a technique that you don't just use to go to the baseline. You just use in general, you catch and go. Well, I want to tell you, when you watch Quentin Grimes, he is a master at catch and go. Okay. And what it does is if you're slower, catch and go helps you get a first step. Okay. It helps you get a first step on the defender. If you have a first step and you catch and go, now you're difficult. It's almost impossible to stop from getting to the basket. That's Quentin Grimes. He catches and goes with such force and speed. It scares me a little bit because I'll be like, he's going to hurt himself. He's going so hard at the basket. And yesterday, he pulled out of his bag the catch and go to the basket. He has 5 boards, but it looked like he had more than that because they was all in traffic. The assist game plus the 3-point game. He dropped 5 threes yesterday. And I want to tell you, some of y'all going to think I'm crazy. This is going to be his norm, like in a year, maybe a year and a half. This is going to be what you're going to get from Grimes every game. Look, he shot 18 shots yesterday. If you give him that every game, you're going to see that production on an average. So you tell me, you get a forward, a 2-guard, 6'5". He can give you 5 boards, 6 assists a game, 25 points a game. What are we talking about? We're talking about an all-star. That's what we're talking about. Not only that, the most dangerous player in the Magic backcourt is Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz has the unique ability to pretty much get in the lane when he wants to. He just has, and it doesn't look like he's quick. He just gets there, right? And once he's there, he causes all kinds of problems. Of all the guards they have, and they have, they drafted a bunch of guards. They got Cole Anthony, he's good. They got Gary Harris. They got what's the other kid from Gonzaga? They got him. Fultz is their best guard. Okay, and so full time last night, Grimes was on Fultz. Fultz was 4 of 11. He had 10 points. Grimes was locking him. I mean, locking him, seriously. In the NBA, players miss shots. It's just part of the game, right? But when you see a guy on lockdown, like he can't do what he wants to do, he can't get to the spots he's normally getting to. That's lockdown, okay? He can't, where Markelle Fultz wants to go, and he can't get there. That's because Grimes is saying, you're not getting there. Even though we lost, like I said, another brother came up to me, drive more, my man. He said, and I told him, I said, he said, oh, the Knicks lost. And I was feeling, yes, disappointed they lost. But what I saw in Quentin Grimes, I'm looking in the future and I'm saying, we got something. We got something. Okay? This kid is going to be the deal. I mean, really. And like last night, it was a tough game. It was a battle. Randle, like I said, was acting up. The refs weren't being kind to the Knicks. They weren't. I have to admit, especially the guy that called that T on Randle. There was a couple of times like Barrett got beat to death. Quentin Grimes, I mean, he got hammered. No call. And a brush from the uniform on the other side, and they're going to the line. So that was going on last night. But you would never see it with Grimes. Unlike Julius, he wasn't complaining to the ref. He'll just look, glare, and keep on going. We got something. He's 22. He's only in his second year. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, the Knicks in the playoffs, you're going to watch Mr. Grimes. Watch Mr. Grimes. Okay? So with Quickley and Grimes, I am, and now a mistake that Tibbs made last night, he plays McBride 6 minutes. Statistically, somebody look it up for me. If McBride plays them more than 20 minutes, the Knicks win. Okay? They're like a big percentage win, high win rate when he plays at least 20 minutes. Okay? So you would think with that, and Tibbs loves this kid. He loves him. It's by all accounts. By Ian Begley's account, even Mark Berman's account. I knew that they were going to like him, just seeing him in West Virginia. They love the kid. And you win when he plays 20 minutes. Why don't you just do that? Especially Brunson is out now. Yesterday. Played him 6 minutes. Okay? You can't get your game off in 6 minutes. I'm sorry. Some people, he's got to prove. He can't prove unless he plays. And if he's telling you already, after his second season, this is the second season, that every time he plays 20 minutes, your team has a higher percentage, like a 70% chance to win the game. Why aren't you playing him? That's the only mistake I have a problem with. He played Hart 29 minutes last night. It was about 20 minutes too much. Okay? He's depending on Hart a lot. And I understand it. Because Hart is a Tibbs type of guy. But he's not a starter. Okay, I keep telling you that. He's a bench piece, an important piece, but you can't depend on him like that. Okay? He should have played Deuce 20 minutes last night. That's the only criticism I got. Even Obi, I watched Obi up close. Obi's amazing, man. He scored on some points. Now, he did get beat backdoor, and I can see why that would frustrate Thibodeau. You're in your fourth season now, or your third season. You're in your third season now. You can't be getting beat like that backdoor. Okay, he did. And I saw it was making me mad. I was like, but look, he puts up with a lot worse from RJ. I'm trying to say, he puts up with a lot worse from RJ, man. So, I don't know. So, but Obi is special. Okay, he's a starter playing 12 minutes a game. All right, and this is what's going to happen. And I'm not blaming the Knicks. I'm really not. And I don't want y'all to do that, start tripping. But listen, life is crazy and hard and negative, and there's a lot of bad things happening in life. I use the Knicks to bring light, to try to bring some joy, try to bring some happiness. Some of y'all use it when you feel like you got diarrhea and you got to crap someplace else aside from the toilet. Okay. Obi Toppin's going to play for somebody. He's going to be a 20 and 10, 25 and 9 guy. He's going to be an all-star. And you're going to say, we had him on the Knicks. Well, yes, we did. But we have Julius Randle. They're not trading Julius Randle. Julius Randle played 36 minutes last night, and that's why Obi only got 12. And Julius is going to continue to play 36 minutes. And Obi's going to continue to get 12. You got Quentin Grimes at 38 minutes, which really, he was tired. He was dead tired because he's guarding Fultz. He's guarding the best wing they got. And he was guarding Franz Wagner too. He was actually guarding everybody out there last night. I mean, I seen him guard Franz Wagner. I seen him guard Fultz. He locked down Gary Harris. He had Bonchero even a couple of times. This guy, Grimes, and you could switch him like that, and he's guarding any of them guys. And there's no mismatch. Okay, but with Julius, obviously. But anyway, Toppin is going to go someplace and be a star. It's just a situation. Okay, the Knicks didn't mess up. They drafted a talented player. Yes, we would have liked him to draft Tyrese Halliburton, but hey, they didn't. Okay, so let's move on. Toppin's going to probably be going somewhere else this summer. I don't know where, but wherever he goes, I want him starting. I want him doing what his maximum ability is, and that's a 20. He's going to be like Amari Stoudemire. He really is. He's got that kind of ability. So yeah. Anyway, that's what it is. Hartenstein, did his work. He came off the bench, 4 boards, 6 points. 2 blocks. He's a hustler. He's a hustler in a rotation as he's doing what he's paid to do. Okay, but overall, the defense was not still. It was better. He gave 111 points, which was below the 112-point average they usually give up, but they can improve. And I felt like if they played McBride the 20 minutes, they probably would have got that. But that's just me. So Houston is next. They get a break. Today's Friday. They don't play again until 7:30 on Monday. I think they're in Houston for that game. I just wanted to just double check that. I think they're in Houston for that game. I think they're on the road. And that's actually a blessing. Yeah, no, they're at home. They're at the Garden. They play Houston at the Garden, and then they get another rematch with Miami at the Garden. So the Knicks are getting a little bit of a break here. They get the whole weekend off in New York, and they get to come, and Houston comes to visit the Garden. Jabari Smith and all of them, they're going to come out to try to show out at the Garden. That's normal. But I'm hoping the Knicks can get their act together. Brunson hurt his hand. I don't know how serious it is. They list him, I think it's list him as day-to-day. No, they had him out. He was ruled out for Thursday's game. He's not even day-to-day at this point. But let's see what happens over next time. But actually, I thought by Brunson sitting against Orlando, it would give Brunson rest. And if Thibodeau played McBride, you'd have a win while your star player rests. So anyway, whatever. Didn't work out that way. But the Knicks are still, at this point, they're a game and a half above Miami. Miami is now the 6th seed. Miami's a half game above Brooklyn, and Brooklyn lost to Cleveland last night, which is what made that happen. So Brooklyn lost to Cleveland. Brooklyn's a half game behind Miami. And for the 6th seed, everybody's battling for that 6th seed because everybody wants to avoid the play-in. And so going this weekend, let's see, starting tonight, Brooklyn, I don't see them on the schedule. Miami, I don't see them on the schedule either. Let's see. Miami plays Brooklyn tomorrow. Now, I'm going to watch that game. 8 o'clock tomorrow, Miami against Brooklyn. That's going to be an important game. Whoever wins that game is the 6th seed as of Sunday. Okay, so that's an important game. And then on Monday, the Knicks play against Houston at the Garden. I don't see. And then, of course, we know next Wednesday, Miami plays. Miami has Toronto on Tuesday at Toronto, and then they play New York at the Garden on Wednesday. So some important games coming up for Brooklyn and for Miami. Brooklyn is going to get Houston after we get Houston, so they'll probably get a win there. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. Every game's a battle. Right now, the Knicks have built, a cushion so that even during this 3-game losing streak, it's still a game and a half ahead of the 6th seed. Okay, so they can get ready for Houston on Monday, have everybody hopefully healthy and ready. Mitch Rob played, he had the sleeve on his right knee, but again, he was fabulous yesterday. Fabulous. Defensively, on the board, fabulous. When he gets that little baby hook and stuff, shoot. Anyway, that's stuff for him to work on. And that's stuff he can do something about. That's stuff he has the talent to do something about. So he's gonna be better, man. I'm happy about the core that the Knicks have. I was I didn't like that they lost the game, but again, the evolution of Quentin Grimes and knowing that the Knicks have drafted him, he's only in his 2nd year, and he's doing things like what I saw last night. Y'all, we got something. Okay, we got some really good core pieces. If eventually Randle gets traded by some situation, and they trade Randle, I hope they don't let Obi and Randle go, because you got 2 really good power forwards. You got an all-star one and one that has talent to be an all-star. So keep one of them at least. But with the core we have around those guys and Mitch Rob and Grimes and Deuce in them, and RJ, really, we're in good shape though. We're not, the championship window's not open right now, but it's going to be soon. I think they make a trade this summer, and your window might open up. Okay, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, please enjoy your weekend. We are going to go live probably Sunday, as we normally do. We're going to go live Sunday and go over the Knicks week, go over going forward for the Knicks starting against Houston on Monday. But please and be safe out there. Enjoy your weekend, y'all. Shabbat Shalom. Happy New Year to the Hebrew Israelites. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yesterday was the first day of the Hebrew New Year. Yesterday. So